Let's start our discussion on mercury poisoning. So, mercury is also known as quicksilver. Mercury is a liquid metal and it has bright silvery appearance. Mercury is a volatile metal at room temperature. Mercury exists in three forms. Those are metallic form, second one is organic salts, and third one is inorganic salts. So metallic mercury, organic salts of mercury, and inorganic salts of mercury. Metallic salts, mercury as a metal is not absorbed in the GIT. So metallic mercury is non-poisonous or harmless, but metallic mercury is volatile. Organic salts can be divided into two types. Those are methyl mercury, that is the most poisonous element, and the second one is dimethyl mercury. Organic salts of mercury are more toxic than the inorganic salts. So there are many inorganic salts of mercury, and the mercuric salts are more toxic than mercurous. The salts are mercury chloride or HgCl2, then mercurous chloride. Mercurous chloride once used as fungicide in previous days, and the HgS or mercuric sulfide, and the mercury thiocyanate and mercury cyanide. So as I said that organic salts are more dangerous. Most poisonous are the organic salts, and mercuric is more toxic than mercurous due to its lesser solubility in water. Metallic mercury is volatile at room temperature, so it can be taken as accidentally as volatile substance in industry, so it can cause harm. Due to its volatile nature, mercuria lentis occurs. It is the deposition of the volatile mercury in the anterior lens capsule of the cornea. This is called mercuria lentis due to its volatile nature. So this is the types of mercurous. The mechanism of action of the poison mercury. So there are mainly three mechanisms of action. First of all, mercury binds with the sulfhydryl, phosphoryl, and the carboxyl and the amide groups of proteins, enzymes, and several types of transport mechanisms, and it alters some membrane function and structural proteins. By that function, it causes cell death. The second mechanism of action is due to direct oxidative effect of mercuric ions. So mercury ion accumulates predominantly in the renal cortex, and due to its oxidative nature, it causes necrosis of the proximal convoluted tubule cells. So the PCT cells are necrosed due to its oxidative nature. And the third mechanism is the inhibition of astrocyte to uptake cysteine. So due to lesser uptake of cysteine, the glutathione level in the cell decreases. Glutathione is a major antioxidant, so due to its decrease in the cell causes apoptosis of the cell, and that is why methyl mercury is so dangerous. it can causes cell death. And the fourth mechanism is immune mechanism. This causes acrodynia and membranous glomerulonephritis. So these are the mechanism of action of salts of mercury. Organic salts of mercurous are more toxic than the inorganic salts. Now let's discuss about the effects of mercury poisoning. So mercury poisoning is divided into two categories, that is acute poisoning and second one is chronic poisoning. So the effects of mercury poisoning can be understood by following method. First of all, mercury comes in contact with tongue, then from tongue to stomach, stomach to colon, and then colon to kidney. By this we can remember the main effects of mercury poisoning. So in tongue, it causes swelling of the tongue and it is known as strawberry tongue. Mercury irritates stomach and inflammation is seen. It causes a characteristic slate grey mucosa of the stomach. In colon, it causes inflammation of the colon and that results into colitis. The proximal convoluted tubule cells is necrosed by mercury and the necrosis is seen in PCT. So by this fashion we can easily remember the effects of mercury poisoning. Then we should discuss about acute mercury poisoning. Acute mercury poisoning is manifested in two phases. Those phases are first phase and the second phase. If first phase patients are untreated, it can lead to second phase in 1 or 3 days. The cause of death of mercury poisoning, in acute mercury poisoning, mainly the cause of death is syncope or circulatory failure. It is the most common cause. But if acute poisoning occurs in the second stage or second phase, the cause of death is renal failure. Then we will discuss about the signs and symptoms of acute mercury poisoning. Already said that it is divided into first phase and the second phase, signs and symptoms. So first phase, in first phase we can divide it, the symptoms can be divided into mouth and GIT symptoms and other systemic symptoms. By this we can remember the symptoms. So in mouth and GIT symptoms, there are immediate symptoms which occurs after ingestion of the corrosive mercury salts. Those are hot burning pain. These are the characteristic feature of immediate signs and symptoms of mercury poisoning. Hot burning pain, sense of constriction in the neck, discoloration of the mucosa, that is slate or ash color discoloration of the mucosa, severe vomiting, and the vomiting is included mucoid material which frequently contains blood. So in vomitus, mucus and blood can be seen, and characteristic metallic taste of hydrogyrum or mercury can be tasted. There is tenesmus and bloody ficus, liquid bloody ficus, and there is excessive salivation and thirst. In the systemic side effects, there is the main or common cause of death, that is syncope, circulatory collapse, cold tummy, peripheral skin, weak and rapid pulses, swallow breathing, difficulty in breathing, pallor. So in acute poisoning, the main cause of death is syncope or circulatory failure. In second phase of the acute poisoning, the cause of death will be renal failure mainly. In second phase, if the patient is not treated well, then the second phase of acute poisoning occurs in 1 to 3 days. It can be divided into oral and renal symptoms. The oral symptoms are increased salivation, the angular stomatitis, ulcerative gingivitis, and this ulcerative gingivitis occurs within 24 hours, glossitis and loosening of the teeth, necrosis of the jaw. These are the oral symptoms. And then comes the renal symptoms. Those are the necrosis of the cells of PCT, and there is increased urine production or polyuria, increased albumin and creatinine secretion, albuminuria, creatinuria, and there is bloody urine, that is called hematuria. Azotemia and renal acidosis also occurs, and recovery may occur within 10 to 14 days, but death may occur in some cases. Membranous colitis may appear, and dysentery, tenesmus, ulceration of the colonic mucosa and hemorrhage occurs sometimes. Management or treatment of acute poisoning. We can do this by applying chelation therapy. Chelation therapy includes 3 chemicals, that is British anti-levisite or D-penicillamine and N-acetyl penicillamine. British anti-levisite is commonly used. This regimen is the treatment of choice for inorganic mercury poisoning. So British anti-levisite. D-penicillamine, it is taken orally as a chelator, and N-acetyl D-penicillamine, it is a better chelator than D-penicillamine because of its greater stability. And the second method is the solution of sodium formaldehyde sulfoxylate solution. Sodium formaldehyde sulfoxylate solution. And the third mechanism is activated charcoal therapy. In inorganic mercury poisoning, gastric lavage is avoided. It is hazardous as the corrosive nature of AgCl2. It can lead to perforation. And in organic mercury poisoning, British anti-levisite should not be used because it is highly lipid soluble, and lipid solubility increases mercury mobilization into the brain. And lastly, removal of the patient from further exposure. Then we should discuss about chronic mercury poisoning, that is also termed as hydrargyrism. We can remember the signs and symptoms and effects of chronic mercury poisoning by a small mnemonic, that is slate grey mucosa. And slate grey mucosa is the characteristic feature of mercury poisoning. Slate grey mucosa can be seen in the stomach after mercury poisoning. So slate gray mucosa, S stands for strawberry tongue. Strawberry tongue. L stands for lentis, that is mercuria lentis, a deposition of mercury in the lens. A stands for acrodyna. Acrodynia or pink disease that is seen in the children. T for tremors or mercurial tremors, that is also called as Hatter's or glass blowers tremors. E stands for erythism or mercurial erythism, that is a neuropsychiatric disorder. We shall talk it later about it. Gray stands for glass blowers tremors. And mucosa. Mucosa stands for M for Minamata disease, that is caused by organic salt mercury poisoning. So by this mnemonic slate gray mucosa, we can remember the effects of chronic mercury poisoning. The first 6 symptoms or effects are due to inorganic salts of mercury, and the last one, that is Minamata disease, it is caused by organic salts like methyl mercury, that is dangerous or toxic to human being. Then we discuss about the classical triad of chronic poisoning, mercury poisoning. The classical triad includes 3 things. Those are: 1. Gingivostomatitis, the inflammation of the gum and the angle of the mouth, gingivostomatitis. The second one is mercurial tremors, or those are known as glass blower tremors or Hatter's shakes or glass blower shakes. The third one is mercurial erythism, that is a neuropsychiatric disorder seen in chronic mercury poisoning, or it is also known as Mad Hatter syndrome. The signs and symptoms of chronic mercury poisoning, let us discuss about in detail. General symptoms are mainly the main characteristic feature is blue line can be seen at the junction of the teeth and the gum. And there is also loosening of the teeth from the gum. There is loss of weight, anemia, anorexia, inflammation of the gums, sore throat, and chronic nephritis with progressive uremia. And the main features of chronic mercury poisoning is mercurial tremors. The other names are glass blowers tremors and Hatter's tremors. So glass blower tremors are seen in chronic mercury poisoning. These are static and intentional tremors seen in poisoning case. Static tremor and the intentional or ataxic tremor. Static tremor or resting tremor, it occurs when the muscle is at rest. It is a fine trembling motion most evident in the upper extremities. The intentional tremor is purposeful movement. It occurs when there is a purposeful movement at an extremity. It is an aggravation of an established static tremor. And in the last stage of the tremor, concussion occurs. Concussion mercurialis or tetanus mercurialis occurs. It refers to the last stage where tremors are so intense that they prevent daily activities. Then we should discuss about mercurial erythism. Erythism is a name given to a neuropsychiatric manifestation. So it is a neuropsychiatric manifestation in the chronic mercury poisoning. There are several signs and symptoms that can refer to a neuropsychiatric manifestation such as mercuric erythism. So those symptoms are mainly irritability, emotional distability, irritability, insomnia, loss of memory, anxiety and mood changes. Anxiety and mood changes, loss of memory, depression, suicidal thoughts, and psychosis are common in mercuric erythemism. Hallucination and delusion can be seen with chronic mercury poisoning patients. So the symptoms are emotional instability, irritability, insomnia, loss of memory, anxiety, mood changes, depression and suicidal thoughts, psychosis, hallucination and delusion. Then we should discuss about Mercuria lentis. It is most commonly seen in the volatile mercury poisoning in room temperature or more than that. So what is Mercuria lentis? Mercuria lentis is it is a peculiar eye changes seen in chronic mercury poisoning due to the deposition of mercury through the cornea onto the anterior lens capsule. So mercury is deposited in anterior lens capsule, but the visual acuity is normal in this case. In slit lamp examination demonstrates a matte brown reflex from the anterior lens capsule. So there has no effect on visual activity and it shows matte brown reflex from anterior lens capsule. But there is an exception that methyl mercury, that is the organic salts of mercury, can decrease the visual acuity and it can cause the blurring of vision and the tunnel vision. The visual acuity is disturbed in methyl mercury poisoning. Next, we should talk about acrodynia. Acrodynia is also known as the pink disease or Fier's disease, Selter's disease. There are many names. Mainly, it is known as pink disease. Acro means periphery, and dynia means pain. So acrodynia means peripheral pain. So acrodynia can be remembered as P's. Those P's are peripheral, P for peeling of skin, P for painful, P for puffy, P for perspiring, P for paresthetic. So there is the painful peeling of peripheral skin. And this is commonly seen in children in chronic mercury poisoning. Acrodynia or pink disease is a peeling of skin in peripheral tissues. It is painful. Lastly, let us discuss about Minamata disease. Minamata disease is also named as Hunter-Russell syndrome. It is caused by the intake of marine fish in sea that is poisonous with mercury. It is caused due to organic mercury salt. In organic mercury salt poisoning, that is methyl mercury poisoning, we can divide the symptoms in CNS symptoms, and those CNS symptoms are peripheral neuropathy, akinesia or no movement, ataxia, that is cerebellar ataxia, blurred vision and tunnel vision. So those are the CNS manifestations of Minamata disease. Second is immature brain development. It is especially susceptible to the effect of methyl mercury and often damaged in an irreversible and profound manner. The third one is congenital poisoning. Congenital poisoning indicates mental retardation, microcephaly, deafness, and blindness of the child, the newborn. Mainly, the pathology behind this Minamata disease is due to the loss of myelinated nerve fiber or demyelination of the nerve fibers, autonomic dysfunction, and the sensory nerve conduction delay, and abnormal central nervous system cell divisions. The fatal dose of mercuric chloride is 1 to 4 gram, and the fatal period of this is 3 to 5 days.